Hi, everybody. So this is really exciting. We are here to talk about the fall movie season coming up all the way through November. We did a preview of the summer season and a recap, and now we're here to do fall. And so my friend David is here with me to help me get through all these movies and talk about them. And so do you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm here. Thanks for having me back again.
Thanks for coming. I'm so excited. So yeah, we have a ton of movies here. We have I think close to 40. So some of them we are just going to zip through and some we're going to talk a little bit more in detail with. So, all right. So the first one is actually opening this weekend. The only release this weekend is called Tulip Fever. This stars Alicia Vikander, Dane DeHaan, and it's about a 17th century woman who has this affair with a painter. This movie had lots of delays, but it did look pretty steamy from the trailer. I don't know. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty interesting. In a weird way, it reminds me of Titanic. I don't know if you got that vibe from it. I mean, you have a painter, you have kind of an affair going on, kind of the same era as well. Mm-hmm. Even Dane DeHaan, he kind of reminds me of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not as good looking, but they have similar features. So I get that vibe from it, which is a good thing. I love Titanic. Mm-hmm. So I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's older, 17th century, and Alicia Vikander is a really wonderful actress. So who knows, maybe it'll surprise. When things are delayed, it doesn't always mean it's terrible. Sometimes really stupid stuff can make things delayed. But anyway, so yeah, that's this weekend. It's the only new release of the weekend. So
yeah, we can't forget Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yay! I'm really excited for that. So that is re-released for this week. And but yeah, Tulip Fever.
While we're on the topic of this weekend, so last weekend was the lowest box office in over 3 years. Mm-hmm. Do you think this weekend will be even lower?
Yeah, I don't see how it can not be.
Yeah. I mean, people really want to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, I mean, it there's just nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if something like either an indie or because this is the same time in I think 2015 that War Room was number one at the box office, and which is a Christian film. So I wouldn't be surprised if like All Saints or some audience specific movie ends up taking number one this weekend. But if you actually look at it, because I think War Room got number one with like $9 million, so not very much.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happens here. It's
possible.
You get a really low niche audience specific movie as a number one, but who knows? Oh, let's move on. September 8th, we have two releases. We have one that I'm excited about that probably most people aren't.
One I'm excited about.
Yeah. So we have Home Again. I am a rom-com lover. I like my romantic comedies, and I like my romantic comedies old school and cheesy, starring Reese Witherspoon. So this is right up my alley. And this looks so fun to me. It's got Reese Witherspoon, Candice Bergen, Michael Sheen in it. And it's this rom-com. She's the divorced woman who takes in three aspiring filmmaker young men, I guess you'd say, to share her place. Candice Bergen is like her wise knowing. There's always like a wise knowing, either friend or mom or somebody. So that's her mom. And I feel like it has been so long since there's been like a rom-com like this. Like they're all just so like raunchy and so like and so I'm actually kind of excited. Like I don't think it's going to be a good movie, but I think I'm going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like something that could have come out in the 90s even.
Yeah, Just Like Heaven, or more like the early 2000s, Just Like Heaven, which I saw 4 times in the theater. I love these kind of movies. I really do. Just Like Heaven and oh gosh, like Legally Blonde, Miss Congeniality, all that stuff I just love. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, what's weird for me though is like Reese Witherspoon is supposed to be like the old lady now.
Yeah, she's like,
does that not feel weird?
Yeah, it does.
I remember young, like Pleasantville Reese Witherspoon.
And she looks exactly the same. I swear, she does not look.
She can't be a MILF yet.
Yeah. She does not look like 15 years older than, Just Like Heaven or Sweet Home Alabama. Or right. She looks the same. I love Sweet Home Alabama. That's one of my favorites. So I'm really excited. I'm sure it'll get like slaughtered by the critics and nobody will like it but me. So I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in it, but I might see it eventually.
Yeah. We have It. This is the big release that everyone's very excited for, and I'm very scared for. But I'm still debating. It depends on what I always do my research for the R-rated films, and just see like why it's rated R, and depends on how violent it is. But I might be tempted to give it a shot. Go out of my comfort.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think you should. It won't hurt you. You'll survive. Have you seen the TV movie?
No, I have not. Okay. I've seen pictures, and I've tried to get out of my comfort zone a little bit with horror in the last couple of years. I saw The Babadook. I saw The Gift. I saw
The Gift horror.
You don't think?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. The horror thriller, it gets meshed. Yeah. But I saw oh gosh, I saw Morgan. That wasn't very good. I don't know. I just saw Get Out, which was thriller, whatever you want to call it. But I've tried to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. So
yeah. Well, I respect that. I mean, no pressure, but I think it looks really good. It looks like it's pretty true to the Stephen King book. Hopefully not too true, because there's a lot of very like graphic things, not just the horror, but like sexually.
Right. That's where I usually draw the line.
Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that happens in the book. My sister read it. I never read it. She told me about it, but there's stuff that happened in the book that I'm sure they won't show in the movie. But I think it looks really good. I was excited to have William Poulter as Pennywise, but they like completely scrapped that. So hopefully Skarsgård, I don't know, what's his name? I just call him Skarsgård. Alexander's brother.
Not Alexander, Bill.
Right, his brother.
Yeah, his brother. He would be more attractive clown if he was Alexander Skarsgård.
Right.
Yeah. I did see The Visit and I saw Split. So,
okay, I guess those kind of count as horror.
A little bit.
It's still kind of much. Yeah, I'm excited, and critics seem to love it so far. So.
Oh, really? Has it gotten some reviews already?
I mean, people have tweeted about it, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. So.
Cool. Yeah, I probably will. I probably will see it, but I probably have to go with my brother. So I hold on to his hand. I get scared. So yeah, it does look pretty scary, but it looks well made. Looks like cinematography's good. It looks like it's a good movie, not just like a lot of horror movies. And we'll talk about some that feel really put together, cheaply made. So any genre can. So yeah, maybe I'll go see it and then like go see Home Again, just like feel.
There you go. So you don't have nightmares.
Yeah.
Just don't go to the all clown showing of it.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's Alamo Drafthouse. They announced, because they got all this stupid protesters about all women Wonder Woman screenings. So just to troll those people, they're announcing an all clown screenings of it, which I think is hilarious. 15th, we have two big releases. We're not talking about everything, but there are some indies and stuff that we won't talk about. But they have American Assassin, Dylan O'Brien and Michael Keaton, Taylor Kitsch are the stars. It's about a guy recruited by the CIA to become the best assassin they've ever met, but he gets into trouble on an assignment. So what do you think of this, the trailer and everything?
Yeah. I'm not usually into these kind of movies, like with the shooting and hitting and fight. That doesn't really interest me, but this actually does look pretty good, and I do like Dylan O'Brien, so I'll probably go see it. But
I
I'm
was
like
surprised because last I had heard from him was that he had been injured too bad and they had to cancel the rest of the Maze Runner movie, the third Maze Runner movie. So I was a little surprised when I saw his name on this.
It's been probably a couple of years since that injury happened. Mm-hmm. So I think he probably recovered enough to do this. And the third Maze Runner is coming out in January. So.
Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't know that. Yep. Yeah, it looks pretty generic to me, to be honest. I mean, Michael Keaton will probably elevate it like he does a lot of things. But I don't know.
I mean, give it a chance for Dylan O'Brien. I think he could really be like the next big thing. Like the Maze Runner's been a starting ground for him, but I think he could go places.
Okay. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, it could be good. Mother. And this I'm actually pretty excited about. It definitely looks pretty scary. It's got Jennifer Lawrence, who I love, Javier Bardem, Domhnall Gleeson, who has the hardest name in the world to say, Kristen Wiig, and Ed Harris, Michelle Pfeiffer. So this huge cast. Darren Aronofsky is the director, and it's about a couple whose relationship is tested when uninvited guests arrive at their secluded home. It looks pretty scary. So like you have to buy that Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem are this couple, which seems a little hard to believe. But anyway, and they start inviting like all these people all of a sudden come to their house, and things just get creepier and creepier and creepier and creepier. And I don't know, I think it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, and the trailer makes good use of music, the creepy violin sound that they throw in there. So yeah, I think it looks good, and I like Black Swan's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So this has me optimistic just because of that, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I feel like Ed Harris. I feel like Ed Harris can do that creepster thing when he wants to. He can be kind of creepy.
Yeah, and can we? You just breezed over the fact that Kristen Wiig is in this, which I didn't see her in the trailer, and
yeah,
I believe you.
Yeah,
but it's just like. Whoa, should be interesting because I'm used to her being in comedic roles.
Yeah, but she's sometimes like in The Martian. She's not always comic.
And she was in with Friends with Kids, which I hated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you probably didn't see it.
Friends with Kids. No, I actually did see that.
Isn't she?
No, I don't. Maybe she was. I know that Maya Rudolph was in that. Anyway,
making that up.
Yeah. But yeah, it should be interesting. I know that like all of a sudden it's like cool to hate Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not on that bandwagon. I like her. I think she's a great actress. So there you go. Okay, so September 22nd, we have Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I actually haven't seen the first Kingsman, believe it or not. And so this is a sequel to the first one, brings back Colin Firth, Mark Strong, Taron Egerton.
Okay. The first one, I can see why you haven't seen it. It's got over-the-top violence, but it's so much fun. Like, by far one of my favorite movies of 2015, which is saying a lot because that was a strong year of movies for me. So I'm super excited about this. I think it looks really great. It's got an even bigger cast than the first one did. So I am just really looking forward to this. And I almost want to say you should watch the first and go see this.
Okay. How do you think that they're going to, I mean, I know enough about it to know, like, how do you think they're going to bring back Colin Firth?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. And I don't like that they kind of spoiled that in the trailers. I mean, I knew it just because it was reported in entertainment news that he would be coming back. But yeah, I really don't know how, because he was pretty decisively killed in the first movie.
Like, do you think they're going to have like a twin or something lame like that?
I think they're just going to insult our intelligence and just pretend like he didn't really die, and they'll have some sort of way to excuse it. My friends and I, we were like, we don't really need Colin Firth. Like, he's good and all, but like for continuity, just don't bring him back. We would be fine.
That's what they did Sherlock season 3, and it was so lame. He just like comes back, and they never explain why.
Colin Firth?
No,
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It would have probably been better if he. Yeah, so I know I need to get with it. And let's see, I used to have such high standards back in 2015. But, okay, so then we have Lego Ninjago opening that weekend. This has voice acting Jackie Chan, Olivia Munn, Dave Franco, and many, many more. It's basically about 6 ninjas that must defend their island called Ninjago, and they're like high school students on the side. It's like and I actually am not that excited about this. I don't know. Nothing I've seen has really gotten me excited. I don't know. I just haven't loved. It's fine, and I hated the short that was in front of Storks last year. So I don't know if maybe that's part. I still have sort of a bad taste in my mouth from that short. But I don't know. I'm just not that excited. I'm not excited. I'm just kind of on it. I'd like
yeah. The only reason I am like somewhat excited is because I really like the Lego movie, and I like the Lego Batman movie even more. But it doesn't look as good. Yeah. I'm hoping that they are saving the best parts for the movie, and that I'll be really impressed. I'll definitely go see it.
Yeah.
But I'm not super optimistic.
Like, I don't think it'll be awful. I don't know. I'm just not that excited about it. And yeah, there's just nothing that looks that sort of visually interesting. And I actually didn't like the Lego Batman movie as much as the Lego movie. I liked it, but not as much as the original Lego movie, because I felt that one had so much more heart and emotion. And I thought that it was it was a lot more visually beautiful to me. Like, they just little things, like in the Lego movie when they dive into water, you see like the bricks come up and flow, and in Lego Batman movie it's just like regular water, and I'm like, oh. But yeah,
I can see where you're coming from. I'm a huge Batman fan, so I think that's why it appealed to me, because there are so many like little flashbacks or Easter eggs to other Batman movies, so I really like that.
It was really funny. I enjoyed it very much. Actually,
I will say that whenever I do watch the Lego Ninjago movie trailer, every time they do the Lloyd joke, like where his dad's calling him I don't know why, but that makes me laugh every time. So
it makes me laugh because my sister is married to a Lloyd. So
okay.
I have a lot of Lloyds in my life. Yeah. So so all my 3 of my nieces are last name Lloyd, and anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah. So hopefully I'm hoping that it'll be a lot of fun. It's been a rough year for animation, mainstream animation. So I hope it'll be good. Okay, so then we have Victoria and Abdul. This stars Judi Dench, and she plays Queen Victoria. She's already played Queen Victoria at least once in an Oscar-nominated role in Her Majesty Mrs. Brown, which is a movie I love. And me and my friend Richard did a whole podcast on it a couple of months ago, because it's just a great movie. It's really well written. She's amazing in it. And this, I have to say, feels like almost the same plot. I'm like, how did Victoria have the exact same thing happen to her twice? Because Her Majesty Mrs. Brown is all about her befriending this like Scottish rogue kind of character, and then this is all about her befriending this Indian guy. And so you'd think that like by this point the royal staff would be used to Victoria like befriending these weird men, but but I think it looks charming. I like these kind of movies. I like royal movies. I like British movies. I like, you put Judi Dench on there, I'll probably like it, probably watch it. And I think that this is as close to, I would be shocked if she doesn't get nominated for this. She's been nominated 7 times before. It's just one of those things that, like, the dames are in a movie, unless it's awful, they usually get nominated.
That's true.
It's the same thing with like Maggie Smith is going to get nominated every year that she's on Downton Abbey because she's Maggie Smith. And right. So I would be willing to put money on that she will get nominated for Victoria and Abdul. But I don't know. I think it looks charming. I'm excited.
Yeah, it does look. It looks like a cute movie, and I love Judi Dench. Like, she just feels like your grandmother with a British accent. So you can't help but love her, and she was great in Philomena.
Oh yeah.
So So I say I'm excited for it, but I don't know if I'll like rush out to see it. It might not play in my theaters around here, but we'll see.
You'll be like, I'll wait on the Kingsman and I'll see Victoria Abdul instead. No.
I don't think so.
All right. So we also have Battle of the Sexes, which is another indie opening that weekend. It probably is opening small, I bet, that weekend and going out further. But this is one definitely to keep an eye out for Oscars, I think. It's about this tennis match that was dubbed the Battle of the Sexes between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. And it stars Steve Carell and Emma Stone. And it looks, I think, really fun.
Yeah, it does. And I think Emma Stone does a good job of transforming into a different character, because we often see her as the same, like, somewhat quirky comedic character, and she feels like a different person in this, which is just a sign of what a good actress she is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it looks good. I think I'm going to want to punch Steve Carell in the face after this, but...
Yeah, he seems to be able to place the funny guy or the jerk.
Right. Or the, like, extreme jerk in Foxcatcher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, actually, I should say in The Big Short, he was actually... I thought he deserved the Oscar nomination for The Big Short, not Christian Bale, because I just thought he was the emotional core of that movie, and you just saw him just getting more devastated by the minute. And whereas I thought that Christian Bale was sort of the autistic special character we've seen a million times. I didn't think it was that special of a performance. So anyway, but I thought he was really good in that. So I think we probably will punch him in the face, but I think it'll be good. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they end up, both of them, with nominations. Then we have, this is one that, since my channel kind of focuses on animation, I thought I'd bring up. It's one called Loving Vincent. This is really cool. This movie is made pretty much exclusively with oil paintings. They've never had an animated, they made like 60,000 oil paintings to make this. So instead of like cells, instead of, whatever, instead of computer animation, they actually made all of these oil paintings so that they could make this animation. And if you watch the trailer, it looks like Van Gogh's paintings like come alive. And I think it looks really cool and just something different. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I remember seeing videos on Facebook like 2 years ago about this and how they were working on this and how they have over 100 painters like working to put this together. And it just felt like too cool to be true, Yeah. So seeing an actual trailer and knowing it's being released is pretty awesome. Yeah. But my concern is, like, can the story itself match the breakthrough animation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not, like, I can handle an artistic piece movie, like, that doesn't have a ton of story. It just depends on pacing and how it's sort of, I don't know. I'm a Terrence Malick apologist, and a lot of people hate his, because he doesn't have a ton of story. So they could do it where it would work, and they could do it where it would be really boring. So it just depends on how they execute it, I guess.
Yeah.
But that could be a problem for sure.
Yeah. You think this is a lock for Best Animated Picture nominee?
Well, see, this is where things get interesting, because they changed the rules this year to allow, because it used to be that the nominations were created by like a committee of experts who basically knew of animation experts and directors and stuff. I don't know who, but anyway, so that's why you ended up with some of these smaller movies, because they were actually like people who knew animation and knew the movies that were doing the nominations, and then everybody got to vote. Well, they just changed it this year for documentaries and for animation, that the nominations are decided by the whole body of the Academy. So that could, I'm hopeful that we still get some of these, because I'm hopeful that we still get some of these animated films, like that are these independent animated films, these artistic films, I think something like The Breadwinner, we'll talk about in a little bit, has a pretty good chance because it's going to be championed by Angelina Jolie. It has a company distributor that's really passionate behind it, that's going to get it in the hands of all these voters and everything. So I'm hopeful that it won't change, but it could be that everybody's just like, here are the 5 that my kids like. And that would be really depressing.
Yeah.
So it's by no means a lock because of that reason. I think if it was last year, it would definitely be a lock. But I hope that this change hasn't screwed over independent animation films, because really the Oscars were sort of the one thing that they had to kind of, a movie like My Life is Zucchini, or
right.
What's that one by Charlie Kaufman? I can't think of it. Anyway, these smaller films could get Anomalisa, movies like that could get a lot of sort of praise and publicity and everything like that. So we'll see how it works out. It's gonna be interesting. But I swear, if the Oscars this year are like Boss Baby and Despicable Me 3 and it's going to be a hard day for me. Okay. So, so September 29th, we have American Made. Tom Cruise is a pilot recruited by the CIA to be a drug runner. And this is director Doug Liman. I love Edge of Tomorrow. I think that movie's so good. And I actually have heard good things. People in Britain have already seen this, and I've seen a couple of reviews that they liked it. I think it actually looks pretty solid.
Yeah, it's getting better reviews than I thought it would, just because Tom Cruise has kind of not been on the right path lately, especially critically. So I was surprised to see it's getting really good reviews, but I'm happy it is. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you saw this, but just the trailer reminds me of Gold.
Oh, Gold. Yeah, I never saw that movie, but I can see what you mean.
Not bad, but yeah, it kind of has the same vibe for me. I mean, they're both based on true stories, and there are other similarities, but
I'm hoping it'll be kind of a edgier, have some of that Mission Impossible vibe that we know he's so good at, but also have some edge and some. So I hope it'll be good. Okay, so then we have Flatliners. This is a remake of a 1990 film. I have not seen. Have you seen the original?
I haven't. Does it have Kiefer Sutherland in it?
I think it has Kevin Bacon in it.
Oh, Kevin Bacon. Okay.
Yeah,
no, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. But my friend, when I did a most anticipated with my friend Henry, he had this as one of, he had the American Assassin and Flatliners on his list of what he was most looking forward to. So it's about people can stop their hearts in order to experience the afterlife for I guess a few seconds. And Ellen Page, Diego Luna, and it's directed by a Danish guy named Niels Arden Oplev. And he did the original foreign version of Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, I think it looks really good. I mean, it's up my alley. It's probably not your kind of movie, but yeah, it kind of gave me like Final Destination vibes, which I like that series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what
it should be interesting. Ellen Page was somebody after Juno that I thought was going to be like a huge star.
Yeah,
and she hasn't really panned out the way I would have expected.
Yeah, I get that. I like her a lot as a person, and I hope good things for her. I mean, she had Inception, which was also a high point for her.
Yeah, and she was
in
the X-Men.
Oh, right. It would be great to see her actually like return and be successful again. You know?
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably see it. It looks pretty good. So October 6th, we have Blade Runner 2049. This is, of course, a sequel to the original, but this time starring Ryan Gosling. It has Jared Leto, Dave Bautista, and Harrison Ford returning. He's making his victory rounds amongst all his greatest hits.
Right.
And it looks beautiful. Director Denis Villeneuve is a very talented man. He knows how to make a beautiful movie. It's going to be interesting to see what he does with it. I know that he's very passionate about this movie. He loves the original, and he flat out said, like, I'm going to direct it because I don't want someone to mess it up, because he loves the original that much. So that's always a good sign when people have passion for their movie.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really good. It, like you said, it looks visually stunning. So,
yeah,
yeah, I'm optimistic. I like the cast. Ryan Gosling is great.
mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the original in so long, so I definitely need to refresh myself on that before it comes out. I have plans to watch it with my roommate soon. So,
yeah, I mean, and it's good that they're not remaking it. This is a sequel.
Yeah,
I always like that kind of way of thinking better than a remake.
right. I mean, they remade. Oh shoot, what is it? The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that they remade with Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah. What was that? Total Recall.
Total Recall. Yeah, I'm glad that they're not going that route because leave the original as it is and then expand on it. There we go.
Yeah, I wonder if Harrison Ford's character is going to die. He's making all the victory laps, so that he can like kill off.
There's for people who haven't seen.
Kill off all his characters. But anyway, yeah, it looks like it's got a great cast. It looks beautiful. The trailers have been good. There's no reason not to be excited about this one, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Okay, then we have The Mountain Between Us with Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. These two people survive a plane crash in the mountains and they have to figure out a way to get home. This looked really cheesy to me. I do not understand why. Like, if this didn't have Kate Winslet and Idris Elba, I would have no interest in it. But they're such good actors that it does sort of, it's like, they must have something that drew their attention. But I don't know. I thought it looked really cheesy.
Yeah, you would think that those names being in it would be a good sign, but then we had The Dark Tower and we had the Divergent series. I don't know if you like those.
Yeah,
but...
and Kate Winslet was in Collateral Beauty.
Oh, right.
I guess was super bad last year.
So, I don't know. Maybe they're getting desperate, but they shouldn't. This actually reminds me of The Edge. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it has Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin. There's a plane crash in Alaska, but it's not like snow-covered Alaska, and they have to fight off bears. Okay. I loved the movie when I was in high school. This doesn't look as good.
No, the dialogue looked really corny.
Yeah. And you just know the dog's going to die. Like, they're going to eat that dog, right? I hope not. That would be sad.
I wish I had it written down. There's actually a website. I think it's Does the Dog Die or something like that.com where you can look up
really?
And you can find
That's funny. I didn't know other people were wondering.
My friend was telling me about that yesterday. So I'd be surprised if this is any good, but who knows?
Yeah.
You never know. Okay, then we have the My Little Pony the movie. Zoe Saldana, Kristen Chenoweth, Emily Blunt, and the entire cast of the actual ponies on the show. When a dark force threatens Ponyville and the main six, they go on a journey to the end of Equestria to save their beloved home. So there's a couple of reasons why, before you laugh, I actually am excited about this. First of all, the show is actually pretty well done. If you watch the show, it's actually pretty well written. They have pretty good production. They do a good job making the show. So I guess I'm like, but I'm just excited as somebody who loves 2D animation. We haven't had a major studio put out a 2D animated film in so long. So I'm actually kind of excited for it just for the artistic style of it, because I just feel like all of these animated films, if they're not an indie, look exactly the same. And so I'm excited on that level. And I hope it'll be good. I hope it'll be good for the fans that like it, both the bronies and the tons of little girls who love it. I hope it'll be good. So I don't know. There you go.
Yeah, this is actually my most anticipated movie of the fall. So no, I'm kidding. I'm definitely not a brony. No, I'm not a brony. And this is probably the movie that we're going to talk about that I can almost certainly tell you I'm never going to see. But I love that there's people that are interested in it, because there's a little bit of everything for
everyone.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because I'm actually been doing a podcast on the movie with my friend Paleostino, who is an awesome YouTuber, has a lot more subscribers than I do. So it's actually I'm really excited. It's kind of a get for my channel, so that'll be super fun. So something to look. I'll be taking notes at the My Little Pony movie. So that's how weird my life is. Okay, so October 13th, we have another mountain movie. Six Below, Miracle on the Mountain. This is just the year for mountain movies.
Yeah.
This is a faith-based film, starring Josh Hartnett, who hasn't been in a movie in so long, I feel like. And anyway, he's a former hockey player who gets stranded on the mountain. So, yeah, this looks like also doesn't look very good.
Right. Yeah, the twist is he runs into Kate Winslet and give yourself. What?
It's a
what are you guys doing? It's a miracle.
Cinematic universe of mountain movies. That would be great. They run into White Fang, and then like Liam Neeson is there too.
Yes, exactly.
That'd be great. That's awesome. No, but yeah, that one probably won't be very good. Okay, so this one I'm really curious for your thoughts on, though. It's called The Foreigner. Jackie Chan, and they actually say in the little bio, it says Jackie Chan in a serious role as a man who goes for revenge when the police do nothing to help him when his daughter is killed in an IRA bombing. So this is set in Ireland. Or England or whatever. And it has Pierce Brosnan, and it's directed by Martin Campbell, who certainly can do this kind of movie well. And so, I don't know, actually, I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, Jackie Chan looks super old in it, but I think he can still kick butt. And, you got Pierce Brosnan, who was, Bond. So, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't have much of an opinion on this. It's not my kind of movie, kind of like I said earlier, but I do think they're kind of like implying heavily that Pierce Brosnan is in on this whole thing, which I don't like when a trailer does that. Like if he is part of whatever happened to his wife or daughter, sorry, then that's kind of cheap for them to kind of give it away in the trailer like that. But yeah, he does look a lot older, and it's a movie I'll probably skip.
Oh, okay. I'm actually really curious about it. Martin Campbell's made 2 Bond movies, and including one with Pierce Brosnan. And I don't know. I think I'm kind of curious about it. I think it looks interesting. And so I hope it'll be good. I feel like it's been a while since we had a Jackie Chan action movie. So
right.
It'll be pretty cool. Okay, then we have this day. We have Happy Death Day. And this is a horror movie about a girl who keeps living the same day. She's been killed over and over again. And it's by the people who made The Purge and those series. And I think this looks really silly. It's really not my cup of tea. I saw the trailer and I'm like, wow, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel in the horror world. And also we already had Before I Fall. I feel like we're getting all of these movies with like repeating the same day. We had Edge of Tomorrow. And it's like, now we get Happy Death Day. I don't know. This not for me. So this isn't I definitely don't see myself seeing Happy Death Day, but.
Okay. Well, this is for me then. Yeah, it's like the horror Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I like about this is it looks like it's not going to take itself too seriously. It looks a little campy, a little funny. So I think that's good, but it looks like a lot of fun. Personally, I know you will not agree, but I miss horror movies with like a person with a knife, slasher movies.
Yeah.
We don't get those very, very often anymore.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to this, even though it's probably one person with a knife. But I think it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I know. I'll definitely.
I can see what you mean. It definitely has that guy with the mask, like going back to Carpenter movies and things like that. So I can see the appeal. Okay, so then we have Marshall. This is a biopic about Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, starring Chadwick Boseman. And I would say this, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if this comes up in the Oscar talk. Chadwick Boseman, It looks like a standard biopic. It doesn't look so great to me, but he's like he's like the biopic guy. I don't know. He's played Jackie Robinson. He's played what's his name? Get on up. I can't think of the name all of a sudden.
Jackie Brown.
Yeah. So James Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it'll be good. I think it'll be solid. And I think he'll probably get nominated if it's. I wouldn't be surprised at least.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have the same sentiments as you. Like, this is the one I took notes on all of these movies. This is one I have the shortest notes for, but looks good.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it looks good. It looks like a standard biopic.
Right. Okay. So then we have Goodbye, Christopher Robin, and I'm really excited about this. It's about the writing of Winnie the Pooh and A. Milne, and it stars Domhnall Gleeson with his very hard name. And I think this looks so charming and wonderful and lovely, and just because I like British stories. I like, of course I love Disney. I love Winnie the Pooh. I think actually the Disney Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is the most underrated of all of the Disney films. It's just treated as like this kid's film, but there's actually a lot to it.
I think this looks good. Like, it kind of reminds me of Saving Mr. Banks, which I like that movie. I
love Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll be good. I don't know if it'll be a big box office success, but I'll see it.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty small movie, so I don't think it needs to be a huge success.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And Domhnall Gleeson looks good in the part. Almost looks like I almost could think it was young Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and I like him a lot. He's a very underrated actor, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so October 20th, we have Boo 2, a Medea Halloween. Oh my gosh. Sequel to last year's Boo movie. And the plot involves Medea, Bam, and Hattie going to a haunted campground where they find monsters, goblins, and the boogeyman. I have not seen a single Medea movie. I am Medea free in my life.
Okay. I've seen quite a few. I'm not a big Medea freak though, but they're fun. Like,
yeah, are they? Okay.
They make me laugh. They're nothing like great quality wise, but they're good for like a few laughs, and that's about it. I didn't see the first one.
Did you know the one last year that they that it came off of a joke in Top 5? Chris Rock tells, that his like epic slave revolt movie, like, that's gonna get beat by Medea Halloween, and then they actually like went and made the movie.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Because he's like promoting some like Haitian refugee movie in Top 5 anyway.
Yeah, I know Tyler Perry said last year that Boo was his best movie or his funniest movie he's made. So, I mean, I own it. I could watch it if I wanted to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe I will.
Funny. You're so funny. Okay, yeah. I'm sure it'll have an audience and it'll probably make quite a bit of money. So
the trailer made me laugh. So
what's that?
The trailer made me laugh.
Okay. So then we have one of my personally most anticipated of fall is Geostorm. No, I think this looks absolutely atrocious. Really? The series of satellites control the weather and they go to pieces, causing mass destruction. Gerard Butler, which I have seen it. The man can act, but he has just been making horrible decisions after horrible decisions. And it just, my gosh, like, what is he thinking? Like, taking these scripts, like with Gods of Egypt, like, come on. Like, he had to know that was bad. And then this, and it's got Abby Cornish, Jim Sturgis, and it looks like a Roland Emmerich movie, and I'm not a Roland Emmerich fan. I don't know. I just think this looks awful and exhausting and frustrating and horrible. Do you have any hope for it?
No, not really. And I do love a good disaster movie, but yeah, this reminds me of The Day After Tomorrow, which is Roland Emmerich, and I hated that movie.
Yeah, it's awful.
And yeah, I had in my notes, Gerard Butler is a red flag. I haven't liked anything he's done in a long time.
A long time.
If he's in a movie, I almost assuredly will not want to see.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
It is a shame.
He's capable.
He is capable. Like, he really can act, and he just picks these horrible projects. So I have no hope for Geostorm. And there's some people who think it's going to be like a guilty pleasure, like The Core or something like that, or Volcano, which are just so like ridiculous. But I really don't see that in there. I think it's going to take itself very seriously. I think it's going to be very groan-inducing. And yeah, I see very much Independence Day resurgence too all over this. And so, yeah, we'll see for Geostorm.
We probably won't see that.
We probably won't see it. Right. We'll see how it does. But
we'll see.
No. Okay. So then we have Only the Brave. This is an elite crew of firemen in Arizona. It's got a great cast: Josh Brolin, Miles Teller, Jeff Bridges, a whole bunch of people. Miles Teller is kind of the lead in it. He's like the new recruit, the rookie firefighter. I don't know. This looks another one that looks pretty corny to me, but it could be entertaining.
Yeah, it feels like this year's Deepwater Horizon. Yeah, which was okay, but yeah, this will probably be okay, and I definitely won't go see it in the theater.
But Peter Weir knows how to make. He's a better. I don't know who's making this, but Peter Weir is like a really good filmmaker, you know, and so he's, I think, able to elevate that material in Deepwater Horizon probably farther than the average, than it would have been just on the surface. Yeah, I'm not that excited about Only the Brave. This looks like kind of a rough weekend. Then we have Same Kind of Different as Me. This is another faith-based film. This has Greg Kinnear. He stars as a family man who befriends a homeless man, Diamond Hunsu. It's got Renee Zellweger and John Voight. You know, the faith-based films have been getting a little bit better, I think. They have been improving. So maybe this will be good. We'll see. I don't know. Greg Kinnear is a pretty good actor.
Yeah, wasn't he in a different faith? He was in It's Not Dead, right?
No, he was in he was in, what's it called? Shoot. The one about the little boy. Not Miracles from Heaven. That was Jennifer Garner.
Heaven Can Wait. That's it.
Was it Heaven? Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
sure.
So I don't know. We'll see about that. This is kind of a niche audience weekend. And then we have The Snowman.
I know what I'm seeing that week.
Geostorm or The Snowman. So this is a detective who investigates the disappearance of a victim on the first snow of winter, and then it becomes like a serial killer situation. Michael Fassbender, Rebecca Ferguson, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Val Kilmer, J.K. Simmons. Great cast. This looks great.
Yeah, it looks so good. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Seven based on the trailer, which I love Seven. So yeah, this is one of the movies I'm more looking forward to in October.
I even got like some Fargo kind of vibes, maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah, and I love Fargo, so.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this looks really good. It looks really atmospheric. It's got great actors. There's no reason not to be excited about this one.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty creepy. I always think it's funny when a trailer like shows a person dead at one point and then later on it shows them alive. So it's a little bit of continuity.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they didn't expect people to notice that, but
that's true.
Should be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good, and it could be an Oscar thing. I think the name's kind of weird. I don't really like the name, The Snowman, but maybe it'll make sense when you see the movie.
Well, if it's with the trailer, like it looks like people are in snowmen when they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know though. It's just a weird name, I think. But anyway, yeah, I guess it could fit. So speaking of horror movies, we have the 27th of October. We have Jigsaw. And this is the original mastermind behind all the deadly traps and torture. It's a prequel, correct?
No, it's a sequel from what I understand. It's
okay.
like yeah, you should know this, right? No. I think
I've never seen a Saw movie. Thank you.
I've seen them all multiple times. Yeah, don't judge me. But yeah, it seems to be like a copycat killer.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted, like who the killer is throughout the Saw series, because it kind of changes. Like, but yeah, I think it looks.
That
it
guy
looks
with the
good.
mask, though, isn't that the guy?
Oh no, it's it's just a puppet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a puppet, but
I
somebody's
don't know anything.
controlling
The
it.
trailer was very scary, but I don't really know anything about Saw movies, except for I know that there's like rooms with torture.
Yeah, it's gratuitous gore and torture, and I don't know why, but I like that. It appeals to me. I'm not a psycho freak killer.
Cool. Well, I like I said, this does feel like this season there is something for everyone, so it'll be fun. I will watch my Victoria and Abdul, and you can watch.
Yeah.
The next one looks really interesting. Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. And this is a film about the creator of Wonder Woman, William Marston, and his polyamorous relationships. Since Rebecca Hall and Bella Heathcote, Luke Evans plays Professor Marston. And so I don't know, this looks kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it does. It's not what I would have expected for like a Wonder Woman origin, not origin for her, but
right
for the comics. Yeah, it looks very interesting. It's great timing with Wonder Woman being such a big hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks good. I want to see it.
I did some research for my Wonder Woman podcast, so I didn't know about this with about Professor Marston. And he's pretty, like, not only his relationships, but he also said some things about like he loved women, but he also like liked watching sort of his like views on erotica and like stuff were just sort of really weird, and that he liked women to be like tied down, and I don't know, just he had some strange, and men to be like in authority because women were so strong, and it made him feel good. He has just some weird statements and weird things, and so he's an interesting guy, so it should be a really interesting movie. So I think that actually could be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Good trailer.
Yeah, I don't know if it will get it's probably not getting wide release though, so
yeah,
might have to hunt it down.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see maybe Rebecca Hall. She's like one of those actresses that gives great performances every year, but is not in like the Oscar club.
Right.
So it'd be cool if she were to get a nomination, because I thought she was so good in Christine last year. The movie wasn't that great, but I thought her performance was really good.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, then we have Suburbicon, directed by George Clooney. This is a suburban community rattled by a home invasion, which then begins to reveal the town's dark an underbelly of betrayal, deceit, and violence. It stars Matt Damon and Julianne Moore. And I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on this. I feel like George Clooney, I like him doing more like full-on dramas, like Michael Clayton and movies like that, as opposed to like his comedies, like Men Who Stare at Goats and Leatherheads, and I don't know, they just haven't been as good in this. I don't know, it could be good, but I'm kind of on this.
Well, I think the trailer looks good. I mean, it looks campy yet dark. It almost gave me like a Wes Anderson vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got that at all.
Yeah, I could see that. It also felt at the beginning, I thought, oh, this seems like early Tim Burton, like the version of Suburbia. That's what he used to do. But I don't know. I hope it's good, and I hope it's a fun little movie. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So it should be interesting. Okay, then we have Thank You for Your Service. This is a PTSD military movie about Iraq soldiers have trouble adjusting home. Miles Teller, Haley Bennett, Amy Schumer, which is an odd mix.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's been so many movies like this, and I feel like almost none of them are good. So I'm not really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to capitalize off the success that American Sniper had. And I think
good point.
Yeah, I think it works well as a trailer, but I don't think it's going to work well as a full movie. But just the way they put the trailer together, like, I think they did a good job with doing that. If that's one thing I can give them credit for.
Yeah. It was an okay trailer. I don't know. I guess I did like American Sniper, but I don't know. I just feel like I've been burned with a lot of these movies, and they're just almost never good. So, but hopefully it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see if Miles Teller can really carry a movie, because I mean, he was good in Whiplash, but I feel like he hasn't really done anything else where I felt like he really carried the movie.
Yeah, it felt like Whiplash was going to be like his big start, like to be this
and then he had
huge
Fantastic Four.
Right, it's all been kind of fizzling since then.
Yeah,
but he's great in Whiplash.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, it's helped, but J.K. Simmons was so good.
Right, yeah.
That helped, I think, a lot. Okay, so November 3rd, we're getting into November. That's exciting. Okay, so we have a lot on this day, November 3rd. We have Bad Moms Christmas. This is the sequel to Bad Moms, and we get to meet Mila Kunis' Kristen Bell's and Catherine Hahn's mothers, played by Cheryl Hines, Christine Baranski, and Susan Sarandon. I have not seen the original Bad Moms, but I have to say that sounds like brilliant casting. Those women as their moms, that sounds perfect.
Right, yeah. It is a fun cast. I would say don't watch Bad Moms, don't watch Bad Moms Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it.
Okay, good. I'm looking out for you. I like Bad Moms, so but I don't have a problem with like crude humor, and it was very crude. But this I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work as well as a Christmas movie. Maybe there were funny parts in the trailer, but I'm just not as sold. Which maybe the low expectations will help. But it's just seems
awfully fast. I mean, they definitely rushed this thing in just over a year from the back to my British comfort spot. We have we have The Man Who Invented Christmas coming out. This is a biopic of Charles Dickens, which I will probably love. There's no trailer for this yet, but it stars Dan Stevens, Jonathan Pryce, and Christopher Plummer. So sign me up, buy me a ticket. I'm there with just them. And I love Christmas Carol. I'm like a Christmas Carol junkie. I did a I did a series called Scrooge Month in 2014, where I watched over 35 different versions of Christmas Carol, and I analyzed them, and I love Christmas Carol. So this I'm very excited for. Biopic of Charles Dickens. He's a really interesting guy, interesting man. Dan Stevens playing him. Hello. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I haven't looked into this too much. There wasn't a trailer, so I'll leave this one to Rachel. But yeah, seems like it could be fun.
Yeah. So, okay. Now we get to the big release that weekend is Thor Ragnarok. And we have the whole team is back. Director Taika Waititi, who did Once We Live in the Shadow, or What We Did in the Shadows, and my brain last year, the Hunt for the Wilder People. And those are great movies, really good movies. And I haven't disliked anything that I've seen from him. He's very funny. He manages to work in warmth and heart with good humor. So I'm really excited to have him as the director. And it's basically Thor finds himself in a race against time to get back to Asgard to stop Ragnarok, the destruction of his whole home world, and the end of Asgardian civilization at the hands of an all-powerful new threat, the ruthless Hela. But first, he must survive a deadly gladiatorial contest that puts him against his former ally and fellow Avenger, the Incredible Hulk. So there's Kate Blanchett as Hela, and Jeff Goldblum's in the cast. Of course, Mark Ruffalo. Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance. We know that. So I'm excited for Thor Ragnarok. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does look like it's a lot of fun. I think I mentioned this on our last podcast. It feels very Guardians of the Galaxy inspired for me.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels like they're upping the like fun, like humor aspect, which has been lacking a little bit in the Thor movies compared to a lot of the other ones. When I first saw the trailer for this, though, when it showed Kate Blanchett at first, I'm like, why is Kate Beckinsale from Underworld in this? She looks so much like her character in Underworld. which I'm not a fan of those movies. But
Okay.
yeah, Cate Blanchett did not look like Cate Blanchett to me.
Yeah, and she looks pretty crazy with that like headpiece thing. That looks pretty fun, and yeah, I think this is going to be very enjoyable. I hope so, at least, because I wasn't that big a fan of Guardians Volume 2, so I hope this will be my Marvel movie for the year. I actually really like both of the Thor movies. I know a lot of people don't like the second one. I recognize its flaws, but I just love Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston so much that I still can find entertainment in it. And I just I have a big crush on Chris Hemsworth. Let's face it, and so I'm really excited to see him. I think he's so charming, and I mean I love Loki. I just love Loki, and so yeah, Jeff Goldblum, and he's great. So I hope it'll be fun.
What do you think about Thor cutting his hair though? Like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah, I mean I typically like shorter hair on guys, so it's not a huge problem for me. But I don't know. It's Chris Hemsworth. He's just so great. I just love him. November 10th, we have Daddy's Home 2. It's a sequel to the original, bringing John Lithgow and Mel Gibson in as the dads of Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. And like, maybe this is actually bad dads in disguise.
Maybe so.
I did not see the original Daddy's Home. I don't know if you did.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't think it looked very good. Plus, Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell have both kind of left a bad taste in my mouth lately. So, but I will say, when I first saw this trailer, I thought it looked really funny. Like, it looked a lot funnier than the first one ever did to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the first one, it just looked like it had a lot of like prop falls and stuff that's not as funny. But yeah, this looked like it could be pretty funny. So
the problem that I have, and you probably have the same problem, but going to the movie theaters as often as I do, I've seen this trailer probably 10 or 15 times by now, and I'm kind of tired of it.
Right.
So what looked funny at first, I'm just kind of like, get this trailer off of my screen. And we still have a while to go until November, so I'll see it a lot more times.
We have seen it a lot. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So that weekend we have Murder on the Orient Express. And I am really, really excited. This is one of my most anticipated of the year. The adaptation of the Agatha Christie novel. I really love the novel. I think it is so fun. And it's got such a great cast in there. You have Daisy Ridley, Josh Gad, Judi Dench. The list goes on. And Johnny Depp. And Kenneth Branagh playing Poirot. And I think that he's going to be a lot of fun. And we just haven't had a good like mystery detective kind of movie for a long time, so I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think the trailer looks really, really intriguing. All of my friends want to see it, so that's a good sign. I haven't read the book. I'm one of those people that I'd rather watch the movie than read the book. So I don't know what's gonna happen at all. Like, the trailer's all I know about this story, so I'm hopefully going to remain unspoiled, but yeah, I can't wait. Like, this is definitely the movie I'm going to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too. I think that's probably a good plan. Like, no need to read it now. Why not go and be unspoiled? But maybe after you see it, if you like it, then go and read it, because it is very charming. It's a very charming little book. November 17th, we have a big release. We have Justice League. This is very interesting because we have Zack Snyder directing, with Joss Whedon directing the reshoots, and also recently they just announced in their press release that Joss Whedon is a listed screenwriter on the film, and along with Chris Terrio. And I guess like the Writers Guild of America rules, in order to be listed as a writer, you have to have like 33% of the script has to be from you, has to be a third or more. And so we know that Joss Whedon, he may have been writing even before he got put on to direct the reshoots. We have no idea. But anyway, so like his contribution is significant enough for a third of the writing, which is interesting. And so I don't think he's doing just like these minor little things. But it is Zack Snyder officially as the director. It's not a co-director situation. And anyway, but I'm very curious to see how this Joss Whedon Zack Snyder marriage turns out, because they just seem very different to me. And I know that they're adding a lot more Wonder Woman, and they're moving things around and changing things around. And so I'm really curious to see how it all turns out.
Yeah, I'm really rooting for this movie, but I'm nervous as well. I've heard early stories that it wasn't going over so well, and that's why they've had to do all these reshoots. It makes sense. Plus, it makes sense.
A story that like the original Zack Snyder cut was unwatchable. Is what?
Yeah, that's what I read.
There, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of bad timing with Joss Whedon joining just because of the controversy in his life, which I hope that doesn't taint this movie, because I really want this DC universe to go somewhere. I haven't been super impressed with all of their movies. I like Wonder Woman, but I really I want it to do so well because I love Batman. So we deserve this.
Yeah, I mean, people have been waiting their whole lives to see Justice League movie, many people. And so, yeah, of course you want it to be good. I want every movie to be good. And I don't know. So I'm very curious. Maybe they're trying like the opposite approach of Batman v Superman, like setting everyone's expectations like really low. Like it's unwatchable. Right. As opposed to like where they were like people were standing up and giving applauses and everything before Batman v Superman. And then people go see it and they're like, wow, this is way better than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Well, and this is another one where like the trailer to me, it looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun. But like I mentioned for that other movie, that like, just because somebody can put a trailer together well doesn't mean the movie's going to be good. Yeah. I thought the same thing about Suicide Squad. I thought the trailer looked so good.
Yeah, exactly.
And the movie disappointed. So
yeah, agreed. Yeah. And it looks good. The trailers look fine, but there are parts of it that feel like, oh no, that's what we've gotten, like that feel very Zack Snyder-y and that make me very nervous. And so I don't know. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. It's got Wonder Woman. Of course, she's my girl. So I hope it'll be good. So we will see.
Yeah, the latest trailer that I saw for it. Be prepared for this, but apparently some mysterious figure comes and I think I don't remember who it was talking. Maybe Alfred. Yeah. So somebody's going to join them. Who could it be?
Could be floating dirt. Could have something to do with that. No.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So then we have The Star that weekend, and this is the animated film about the birth of Christ, the nativity, told from the perspective of the donkey. And this looks so bad. I think it's horrible. This trailer was so bad. I was just like, what? They even have twerking doves at a certain point. And you're like, how is this? This is a nativity story. Like Sony Animation has lost their mind. I mean, they've already given us in the Emoji Movie this year. Now they have to mess with Jesus. You know, it's like,
yeah, Jesus has nothing to do with this movie after they bastardized nativity story.
Yeah, Jesus disassociates himself with the star. Yeah, it looks so bad. In a way, it's kind of a fitting ending to mainstream animation 2000. Well, I guess it's not the last because you have Coco, but mainstream animation 2017, which has been pretty dreadful. But we get a twerking dove in our nativity movie. And I'm going to tell my friends, don't watch this. Just stay home and watch the Rankin Bass special from the 70s called Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey. That one's going to be much better.
Never saw that one.
Than The Star. Look it up. It's pretty hilarious. It's very melodramatic. Like poor Nestor is treated so horribly.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I told you early on that I would pay this movie one compliment. Can you guess what that is?
The cast?
Well, I mean, the cast is pretty good. But no, what I appreciate about this movie is that they didn't take Mary and Joseph and just make them look like white Europeans.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
You know, because almost every nativity movie you see, like they don't look like they would have really in that area of the world. So I do appreciate that they kept them. They didn't whitewash it, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Sounds good. Okay. So then we have Wonder coming out this weekend. This is based on the YA novel that I've read and that is beloved. People love this novel. I thought it was good. I didn't love it, but it was good. It's about this boy who has this sort of this disfigured face, and how he kind of makes friends, and he's just sort of plucky optimism, and he gets he cheers up to everyone's day, and so it's and this looks like a cute little movie, little inspirational kind of movie. Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, Jacob Tremblay. I mean, my only little, like, I guess complaint is I don't think he looks that bad. Like, he's supposed to be like, so, like, his face is like he hardly even has a face. Like, it's just like so bad that like people are like, and it doesn't look that bad to me. He just looks like a normal kid with just a little off, but I don't know. So, but it looks cute. It looks syrupy. It looks fine to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I do like Julia Roberts. I like Jacob Tremblay. It looks inspirational. It looks a little cheesy. I was interested in this before I ever saw a trailer. The trailer kind of made me less interested.
Yeah, so. It's a pretty cheesy trailer. It's a pretty cheesy book. I mean, it's made for, like, my nieces love this book. They love it. Mm-hmm. So, it's for a particular demographic, and so hopefully it'll at least please the people who love the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Then we have Last Flag Flying. And I'm really excited about this. This is one of my favorite directors is Richard Linklater. I love him. And I just feel like this year we haven't had movies about like real people, like that feel human and like authentic. And maybe it's just because we're not at Oscars season yet. And I think that's what he does best, Richard Linklater. He writes like human characters that feel real to me, whether it's the Before movies or Boyhood or Dazed and Confused. I just love it. This looks like one of his more mainstream-ish films, like he did The Bad News Bears and School of Rock. All of his films aren't super artsy. Anyway, this looks more mainstream. Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, Lawrence Fishburne. It's about three buddies who reconnect from, I think, military, on a funeral. I think it's Steve Carell's son has died in the Iraq War or something like that. Anyway, so they reconnect. It looks really cute, I think.
Yeah, it looks. I don't know. I
like it. Okay. You don't like the trailer?
No, the trailer looked pretty good. My thing, and don't hate me, I actually really do not like Richard Linklater.
Okay,
like, he's one of my least favorite.
How dare you?
Yeah, his movies typically are just kind of meandering, plotless, and I get how that makes it seem human, but I like having a plot. Like, I don't like just turning on a movie and it happens to be on whatever day these characters are experiencing. But I do think that this shows more of a plot than a lot of his, like, Boyhood or the what was the one that came out last year?
Everybody Wants Some.
Yeah, Everybody Wants Some.
You weren't a fan?
It didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I get bored with his movies. Maybe they're too artsy for me.
I loved Everybody Wants Some. I just thought I liked following these guys around, and I liked the characters, and I just love his writing, and I love the Before movies. I think are so good. And so I love Dazed and Confused. I'm just a fan of his style, but I totally get it. It's not for everyone. But yeah, this does look way more sort of mainstream, I feel like.
Right, which I like that for it. Just because I don't trust his non-mainstream stuff.
Fair enough. Okay, so and I wouldn't be surprised if we get some Oscar talk, either screenplay, because the Oscars do love his screenplays, and also Bryan Cranston particularly. I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets nominated for this, because the Oscars love Bryan Cranston. And anyway, okay, so November 22nd, we have, this is our last day that we're talking about. We have the big release, Pixar's Coco. Miguel gets lost in the world of the dead trying to find his father. And It has Benjamin Bratt, Gael Garcia Bernal in it, and original song from Kirsten Anderson Lopez, and then they just have the one song. I think it's called "Will You Remember," and or "I Will Remember," something like that. And then they also have the Frozen short, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, before this. So what are your thoughts about Coco?
We talked about this a little bit last time. I think Coco looks good. I have lost a little bit of faith in Pixar with original stories lately, but I hope this is a good one for them. I hope it's.
Why have you lost because of The Good Dinosaur? You didn't like Good Dinosaur?
No, I actually did like The Good Dinosaur. I can understand why a lot of people weren't crazy about it, but I'm thinking more Brave.
Oh, Brave.
Which I know people
okay, because if you go back, there's Brave, but then you had Inside Out and Good Dinosaur.
Oh yeah, Inside Out. Yeah, I can't forget about that. But yeah,
I also am a little nervous about it just because I feel like I've seen enough Disney films where I can tell the films are really enthusiastic and really pumping and really promoting, and the ones that they're just not quite as much. And I feel like this is one of those. I don't know. They're not. I feel like I should be hearing the music. I should be seeing tons of ads. I hated the trailer, the last trailer. I thought it was really bad. It has this weird narration. It feels like something from 1992. It was like Miguel was I don't know. I can't even remember. It was just this weird narration. It's just like in another world, Miguel went, and I thought that was very strange. But it does look beautiful. And I think it also is weird that they're putting this Frozen short before it. It either says to me, one, that they are nervous that people won't go see the movie, but it's good, and so they're going to put the Frozen short in front of it, and then, because 22 minutes is a long short to put before a movie. Long short, yeah. And so they're nervous that people won't like it, and so they're nervous about it for one reason. They would not do that just for no reason. They're either nervous that people won't go see it, or they're nervous that people won't like it. One or the other.
I think it's more the former, that they're more nervous that people won't see it, because they see how their sequels are cash cows. Inside Out was a cash cow too, but yeah, I've come to trust the quality for the most part with Pixar. So I'm not worried that it's going to be bad, but I do think that even if they do expect audiences to like it, why not get that extra push from Frozen, which is huge, the biggest animated movie ever.
Right.
So,
and
actually, not anymore. Second.
Yeah. What's that?
Finding Dory is the biggest animated movie ever.
Right. But anyway, and so I went to a panel with about the Olaf's Frozen Adventure at D23, and it actually looks like a legit movie. Like they're actually putting a lot of work into the songs. I think they said there were 6 songs, and it's written by the sister of Kristen Anderson Lopez, and so it's kind of in the family, I guess, and this other girl, and it has one song that they played for us that was really good, and that I guess John Lasseter told these girls, these women said, write a song that people will remember, like Silent Night. And I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but evidently every time he hears it, he cries. Like, he loves the song. And I thought it was a really pretty song. And so I think this will be better than people expect it to be, is Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I think it'll actually maybe become like a little holiday favorite. I wouldn't be surprised. Starring Bruce Willis, the man seeks revenge after his family is assaulted and becomes a vigilante. This is also a vigilante assassin season, evidently.
Yep.
Elizabeth Shue and Vincent D'Onofrio in it. I think this probably will be pretty bad. I mean, Bruce Willis has just been phoning it in for a long time, and a remake, I'm not interested, really.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Once again, this is not my kind of movie. I didn't think it looked bad, honestly. I thought it looked okay for its audience, but the audience is not me.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Here, this will be an interesting one. So we have Molly's Game opening, because this is Thanksgiving weekend. That's why there's so many this weekend. So we have Molly's Game. This is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. And here's my unpopular opinion. I am not that high on Aaron Sorkin as everyone else. I think he writes amazing dialogue. He's great at dialogue. But I think his characters are actually kind of one note. And he has like the rich guy, and he has the underdog guy, and he has the I don't know, like I feel like for me, I thought that he made Steve Jobs a really one note character, and that he was just the greedy evil guy, and he wasn't a fleshed out human being, in my opinion, with good and bad and weaknesses and strengths and everything like that. He was just, and I felt the same way with a lot of his characters, particularly a lot of his female characters, to me feel very one note. And I know I'm way in the minority on that one. Everyone else thinks he's the greatest thing in the whole world. But I felt like in watching this trailer, I did not like this trailer. I thought that Jessica Chastain looked very flat, very one note, as this woman running this high stakes poker game. And I don't know, she's a great actress, so maybe it won't, but that's just how it felt to me in the trailer. I just felt like it was very flat. And Idris Elba, Kevin Costner, Michael Cera. So it's got a great cast, but I don't know. I'm in the minority on not really thinking. I don't think this will be that great, but it'll probably get tons of awards and whatever. So.
Yeah, well, you made me nervous because I thought you were going to say you don't like Jessica Chastain.
No, I love Jessica Chastain.
Okay, good. She's one of my favorite actresses of this decade. But yeah, this doesn't really interest me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it didn't do much for me. It kind of reminds me of, I'm blanking on the name of it, but the movie she was in last year.
The Mrs. Sloan, I think.
Mrs. Sloan, yeah. Which I like Mrs. Sloan.
I never saw it.
It feels like, it's a good movie. It feels like she's that same character. But I don't think I like this as much because at least Mrs. Sloan had a pretty interesting ending that like threw us all off. We weren't expecting it to go the direction it went. This looks pretty straightforward, and it just doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear about it come Oscar season because people love Aaron Sorkin. But yeah, we'll see. So, okay, we have The Darkest Hour, and this is a Churchill biopic. I don't think we've had a trailer for this yet. Gary Oldman.
They do.
Oh, they do? Okay, I missed that. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this comes around Oscar season too. Gary Oldman. They love, like Meryl Streep won for playing Margaret Thatcher. I wouldn't be surprised. Did you like the trailer?
I think the trailer looks really interesting, but the main reason it looks interesting is seeing Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And how he transforms into Winston Churchill.
Gary Oldman's a really interesting actor because that man is in more like horrible movies than anybody I can think of. But yeah, he still manages to like have this completely pristine reputation that and he deserves it for the good movies he's in. But man, he's in some stinkers, and it's just sort of funny.
He's in some of my favorite movies, so that's what I choose to remember him for.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just sort of funny.
I would say, like, as soon as we're done with this, go check out the trailer because you will be so impressed with how well they did with prosthetics, making him look like a completely different person. Cool. I had seen the trailer by myself, and then I saw it in the theaters with my friends like probably about a month ago. And as soon as it came on, I told all my friends, I'm like, this is Gary Oldman. Pay attention. And they were all like, wait, what? And some of them were like, wait, who's Gary Oldman? And they showed him a picture. I'm like, that is him. So I'm going to call it now. He's going to win an Oscar for this.
It would be a really good bet. I think people have been wanting for him to win. And
you have those Oscar seasons where it's like it's somebody's turn.
Yeah.
Like, even if they don't necessarily deserve it, it's still their turn. Right. Kind of how I felt about Sandra Bullock butterflies. It was her turn.
How dare you? No, yeah, no, I disagree. Yeah, no, there's a lot that like Kate Winslet for The Reader. I've never seen the movie, but a lot of people said that she probably, it was kind of a career. Like she's been nominated so many times.
Right.
I guess Amy Adams will eventually reach that point.
Yeah.
It's like, it's her turn.
People were saying that it was her turn this year. And I was like, no. I need Emma Stone to get her Oscar first.
Yeah, she was so good though. Amy Adams in 2 movies, I thought, but oh well. But anyway, so okay, we only have one more. We're almost done. It's so exciting. This will definitely get Oscar buzz. Call Me by Your Name. This is about a boy living in Italy with his American family, and he meets an older American man, and they fall in love. Armie Hammer, Timothy Chalamet, I guess. Chalamet. This has already gotten a lot of buzz, I think, at festivals, Sundance, I think. And I think it looks good. Looks like a well-made movie and good performances. And I think it looks good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it looks really good. It wasn't what I expected it to be just watching the trailer. Mm-hmm. Armie Hammer is somebody that I've liked, but I haven't really seen much of. So I would like if this could be a breakout role for him, just become a really household name. And I think it could be like the movie doesn't feel, there's a lot of the LGBT films that like you feel that it's kind of forced down your throat. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't feel that way it feels like a natural story, and they just happen to be 2 men.
Right.
So
it doesn't look like a message movie in any kind of way. Right. And those can be good, but they can also be just a little heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And this looks like a story, and looks like good chemistry, good performances, looks like it's well made. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of this at the Oscars. And
it doesn't feel cliche.
Yeah.
Which a lot of these can be. So so I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. So there you go. Wow. We finished. Woo! That was a lot. What would you say like maybe your top 2 that you're most looking forward to of the all these films we talked about?
Oh wow, that's tough. If I had to narrow it down to 2, I'm quickly glancing over all of the movies that we discussed about. Okay. Definitely number 1, I think will have to be, oh shoot. Okay, I'm going to have a tie for number 1. So.
Okay.
It, I can't wait to see. So, I think it's going to be great, especially now that I know critics are really liking it. That's highly anticipated for me, and so is Kingsman: The Golden Circle, since I love the first one so much. So, both of those are in September, so hopefully I'll have other movies that I can look forward to in October and November.
I would say probably my 2 most anticipated. I would say probably Thor Ragnarok is up there, and then probably Goodbye Christopher Robin. It's probably my second, or Last Flag Flying. Probably my.
Okay, not My Little Pony.
Yeah, that's a hard spot. I am really looking forward to that. Coco, despite my reservations, certainly is up there as far as I'm really excited about any Pixar movie. So, and no matter what, my least anticipated is definitely The Star. So right.
Since you had to add in more than 2, I'm going to say also Thor Ragnarok. I'm looking forward to Coco, and I'm going to say Justice League.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to it, good or bad. But My Little Pony is the one I'm least
looking forward to.
Sorry, bronies.
I understand. So where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, David Healy. You can find me in a Facebook group previously on Survivor if you like to talk about Survivor. You can find me Film Freaks. I forgot to mention that one. Yeah. That's more up your alley, probably. Film Freaks on Facebook as well. So
that'll be awesome. I'll put all the links down in the description section. And this was really fun. Thanks for taking all the time. I know it's a a lot of work and going through all of these, and it'll be fun to recap it come the end of the year and look at it, look forward to it. And so we didn't include December just because we already had so many, and we'll do maybe a winter one and include December in there. So that will be fun. Because we all know, basically, we're all looking forward to The Last Jedi, of course.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, sounds good. And so, let us know what you're excited for, what you're looking for, what you're not looking forward to in the comments section. And, if any of these you hadn't heard of that you are interested in checking out, put in the comments section. We'd love to have a discussion. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to the channel. And thanks for joining me. Bye.